Welcome to the Real Double Dose Channel broadcast station, focused on the real reals of real life, love, growth, and of course, elevation within all levels. RDDC is exactly the place where anyone can discover more depth, love, light, and clarity within themselves, and elevate from other people's walks of life, conversations, and questions, along with deeper insights. So tune in and be a part of the Double Doses with Lexus T and RDDC.
Hello, RDDC familians and SMM Elevation. Yes, this is your host, Lex, coming to you straight from the heart where the talk is real and the vibe is live. You know how we say it and how we've been doing it. Yes, for any show requests, feedback, or anything under the sun, as always, you can reach us at Real Double Dose Channel at yandex.com. That's yandex.com. Angela or I or Tony or one of us will make sure we hit it up. It might not be on time. Okay, I put customer service tickets in before and waited 4 months. Let's be clear. But I'm just saying, as far as just reaching with the Zen, just know we'll get back at you. But anything you want to let's check out, make sure if you're not tuning in already from these platforms, which we see that you are, and those new coming on to the Real Double Dose channel, welcome to the family and so much more. That is on TuneIn, Stitcher Radio, Spreaker.com, Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, Deezer, Google Cast, Podchaser, Giovanni, or if I'm saying it right, we got SoundCloud. You name it. I don't even know. The links are going to be posted always at the Real Double Dose Channel.blogspot.com. And as well as you can check out some of those links that'll lead you also to the pages of SoundCloud.com that have so much more. But don't forget, and I know I've seen you guys there, but more are coming at RealDoubleDoseChannel.com as well for anything you want to go ahead and do forward from that. We have the manifesto available for you for just a nominal fee of less than a cup of coffee. And as well as there's links there if you want to, and those who have signed up already, we have something wonderful coming for you for our live broadcast together. And those who want to sign up again, we invite you and I invite you to have your sessional time with me for free. Okay. And if you want more time, you can still be a part of the groups or the events or the retreats we're doing as well. But just even if you need that 15-20 minutes of clarity for free, no hands, no strings attached, come on over. But don't also ever forget about our signature love, and that is spiritandmindelevation.com. Spirit and Mind, AND, MIND, elevation.com. So spirit, just go over there, check out our library is on its rising way and risen way, because I just had to say that. But I wanted to put that in, and a special announcement later on will be coming, and we'll just roll out the red carpet when that is. We'll just have an announcement for that time. I know a lot of you have been asking about it. I just wanted to update you about it in under 3 minutes. So let's go. Hashtag, I've been missing you, and I'm happy that you're on here always. And also, the beginning of this wonderful episode, which might be a part 2, not making any promises, but you'll see it up there, is called hashtag the covenant. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? That's hashtag the covenant. And I had to say that very nice and very clear. The covenant is a lot more meaningful than we all know. And the reason why I say part 2 and part 1 is because of the things going on with the covenant that come into a play to where it might be part 1, that we always say the two sides or the double-edged sword. But I want to put this out there. Hashtag the covenant means exactly what it is. Now let's get our friend. I don't think her name is Siri or Alexa, but we're going to get a little bit of help from Google like we did last time, just so you can hear it from the voice's mouth. Now I hope it does give you some response, because sometimes you ask the questions and the assistant wants to be a little silly, but let's get the understanding or the bare minimum kind of understanding of what the covenant is in quote open terms, so we can start this off the right way, shall we?
Here's the definition of covenant, an agreement. Here's the definition of agreement. Harmony or accordance in opinion or feeling, a position or result of agreeing.
I don't know about everybody else, but I heard the word harmony and the understanding of the agreement part. So that comes in a term. So for those who don't know, that was my little assistant there doing what she does. And I'm pretty sure if you have Android or whatever you do, you can have yours too. I'm just saying. The other assistant free. But ultimately, that's what the covenant is. The covenant is an agreement that harmonizes with basically agreeing with the same things. Now, this right here comes with a lot of things that we need to address. Have we made, and have you and I made, and I know for a fact I am guilty as charged with this, made a covenant with ourselves or the understanding of something we're not supposed to be, and not necessarily indulging it or being a part of because we know it's complete mayhem of toxicity or stupidity? I mean, think about that for a moment. You might not want to say it aloud. You might have it in your earphones if those of you who download it, whatever it might be. But think about this. We're sitting here and we're having so much of a egregious issue, like issues that deal with problems. And we're literally putting ourselves in that position. We've had this talk many times, but it's broken down in different ways. So I just want to throw this cup of here, this cup of tea, this cup of coffee. Let's throw it out here, shall we? Now, for many, many, many moons and many suns that have risen and set, I have been more than enough. And I never felt that I was trying to overcompensate for anything because I felt like if you're going to be there, you're going to be there. But a lot of people always try to come in, hiding their true value system of how they are. They paint a picture for what they try to get from you and understand what you want to have or see because they see how much of a loving or giving or acceptable person that you are accepting. But then they try to be that and it comes out. And by the time it comes out, you just get so tired of dealing with it and so many things bombarding you with life, you just seemingly accept it. Now, these friendships and these toxicity issues that come, it could be a relationship with anything or anyone. But in this particular case, we're talking about someone, deranged, whatever. But the whole point is that sometimes things need to get smacked in your face for the real rock bottom to hit. And it doesn't mean you have to go on a rock bottom to where you're just completely broke and single and all saggy and dry inside. Like, it doesn't mean that. Rock bottom has different levels of hitting rock bottom. Just like you hit rock bottom on running out of your favorite ice cream and you go to the store and they're out of stock and then they're only seller that has it. Yes, my analogy with food, because we all connect to it in some way, shape, or form. We have to. So, you know where I'm going with that. I just feel like when it comes down to it, the covenant is something that is to be agreed upon. Well, first and foremost, the covenant comes from the beginning of time. And that is with the law that has been given by the Creator to keep our flesh upon our bodies, to keep our hearts ticking or our blood flowing, our brains thinking. The law of time and gravity, the law of being able to go outside in the orchard and pick an apple. All these things have a system of the covenant. It's a covenant between them. The apple has a covenant with the seed, and the seed has a covenant with the tree that bears its fruit. The skin has a covenant with what's going on with the whole apparatus of the apple being created. The tree has a covenant with the ground, and the ground has a covenant with the systematic way of nature. When you put a seed inside of an egg, most likely you're going to get at least 9 times out of 10. We're praying for a healthy fetus or something to come out of it. When a farmer goes and plants his crops, he's having a covenant saying, hey, I'll take care of your root system. Hopefully there's not too many pesticides and chemicals, hashtag throwing the shade, but I'm going to make sure I tend to the ground and take care of you so I can make sure you're okay when I tend to what's going on, hashtag the covenant. It is a deep resonance of a measurement of that. It's the same thing as a person saying, hey, we're together now. I'll be faithful. You be faithful. That's our covenant. No, not a marriage license or something sitting here making sure you have a $50,000 ring on your finger and a $100,000 wedding, and then you're in debt from school and car payments and house payments and all that. No, we're talking about the bond and the unity of the sanctity that was formed upon the agreement of your spirits and your mouth, giving the word. Everything has a balance system. Just like people say, oh, I don't want rules. I don't want this. Well, you have to. Like, let's be real here. Yeah, do as thou wilt, Aleister Crowley. We're not talking about him, okay? He'll be dealing with his time. All I'm saying is that you need to understand, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, if you want to choose to eat chicken or be a vegan, of course, different rules apply. If you want to choose to go swimming or just decide to go hiking because you just don't want to deal with water outside of a shower or a bath, that's fine. But what I'm talking about is the covenant that goes beyond a reassurance of life, right? The covenant that goes beyond all those things. Just like when it goes yellow, red, and green, you have to stop because there's different things that need to go. Otherwise, there'd be no balance in life if everyone just went on no stop signs, no nothing that happened. Come on, let's be realistic here. If we can be realistic here. What covenant have you and us and we, What have we made? I mean, have we said, and I'm not just basing it on any kind of fad diets or any kind of, ketogenesis or any kind of relationship guru kind of mindset on picking up the next bachelor or bachelorette. I'm speaking about something that you've made within yourself. Has it been an abusive or toxic relationship to where you're like, man, I promised myself I will not get back into these things again, even though they happen sometimes and you don't see the narcissist coming or the issue that the person has. It hits you later on. Not everything that comes for tit for tat is narcissism. What is it though? Like, honestly, what is it? What hits? Is it the fact that we feel like we can't just say no to some things, or those things might say no to us? And I say that all the time. We give ourselves many covenants. Oh, I'm not going to go down that road again. I know it's potholes, but I'm not going to go. I've been down there 120 times already. It's okay if I just go this one more time, and boom, your whole steering wheel column is just yanked off from that last hit in that sinkhole. Okay. Same thing might go for somewhere. I'm not going to go to this place that I know gives me agitation to start drinking again or being around the wrong person again. But I'm going to just go. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to have a water and some lime. It'll be okay. I just want to have some camaraderie, and boom. Hey, you want a free beer? Oh, let me just take a sip of that. Oh, that does look really good. Is that non-alcoholic? Oh, just put a splash of some gin or some vodka in there. It always seeps in because the covenant has been broken. See, we're looking at the covenant now, the broken pieces of what we have put together to say it won't be separated again. Like for me, and going back to that subject, is the same toxicity in friendship. And I put myself in a lot of situations of toxicity, some blindsided, some not, realizing people have really severe, deep issues. And that's my calling. But I have to realize when not to be that cry handkerchief or that ATM or anything else that might be. Not a pushover, but someone who understands the journey of somewhat of what I've been through has been nothing but detrimental to that journey, and therefore the covenant has been broken. I've given that covenant in so many ways, but I seem to find a way around it. I'm not going to talk to this person. I'm not going to be around this person. I'm going to cut them off. I'm going to block my phone. I might change my number, but that's not what I have to do. I just have to cut my mind. Block your mind off. That's where it is. Because once they know that you've been blocked off from dealing with that, they don't go ahead and try to push that anymore because they know that's sealed off. See, it took me to know a person would rather sit there and splendor in themselves and enjoy themselves and spoil. But yet they can't even care if I had a cup of coffee or a loaf of bread or a piece of toilet paper to wipe my you-know-what. But at the same time with them, they can cry and hoot and whine, but I can be a judge, a priest, a lawyer, everything else for this person and drop what I'm doing. But they could care less about asking me if I even halfway survived during surgery. See, it's that cusp of, we always feel like that. And I'm like, why? There's so many souls out here that desire that. And if we step out of our comfort zone, even if we just had a blog out there to put that out there, and then one person was reading it, like we always say, 1 equals 1 million here. That's enough for the ripple effect to happen. But hashtag the covenant means, when are we going to keep that agreement? Remember, it's an agreement. It's an agreement that harmonizes. When you say, honey, I want to go to the store and I think we should go pick out some wonderful fruit and have a picnic. That sounds great. Let's go. It's harmony. When you tell yourself, hey, I'm not going to choose to have this quote, for example, dairy today because I don't want my stomach acting out. It's an agreement with the self. You made your decision. You're fine. When you execute the plan, you notice you feel a lot better when you get your to-do list because it's an agreement. It's hashtag the covenant that you make. Now, a lot of you might be atheists. A lot of you might be in your own denomination or wherever you are. This is an open understanding. This is not just a free, kind of like let's tripping on acid out in the park kind of thing. This is the spirituality of the creator itself in this whole broadcast, and more self-development and more enlightenment, motivation, educational, all that stuff, business, anything. And I mean, we're going to be opening up to all channels that really, really hit the spot because that's what we're all about. Serving a slice of everyday life is what we're all about at RGDC. But I'm just saying, the covenant was given. Now, we didn't even ask. Now, I don't even know in the physical flesh, but we don't remember the covenant saying, hey, I want to be here. But I do remember there was this, I think this episode, what was it with Abraham Hicks? It was a long time ago. I haven't heard her in several years, but it used to be calming at the beginning of different things I was going through in Cali. But at the same time with that, I heard it was going on to where she was like, well, we made an agreement, or it was saying we made an agreement upon the arrival here. And I heard of different variations. Our soul made an agreement. You have to wonder, why did our soul end up in this body at this particular time with this particular family, with this particular culturism? How did it happen? And it's called the covenant. No matter what it is, it was bound to be with the soul. Some worked out, some didn't. Now, can I say everything that wasn't a successful pregnancy or a successful life, the covenant was broken? No. Some things are meant for a season. Some things are meant for a reason, or a reason within the season. All I'm saying is, when's the last time? When's the beginning of every time that you look forward to in life to say, hey, I've actually kept that with myself. I've kept that understanding within myself, because that's what myself needs to have. I need to be able to keep the covenant that the Creator has given me breath and stop wasting it on one person out of all these billions, because I feel like my emotions are so tied up that I can't do anything outside of this one person that's keeping me away. I can't do anything outside for my health or my longevity because of this one issue. I told people, when you learn to control it, that's one thing I like. If you're going to go sit there and have a bottle of Grey Goose vodka, I'm not representing that, but I'm just saying, for example, or if you have a whole pitcher of Crystal Light tea, it doesn't matter. And you can control it to where you can put that away for several weeks and touch it when you want, then that's controlling it. You see? When you have, and that's the same thing for a toxic relationship. Sometimes you need a little dibble dabble. I told people, when you get so used to accustomed to certain things, or you feel it, it's harder for those things. When another human is holding you back or something is happening. It's the whole point. You can control it, but eventually you need to rid yourself of it. There's always stages for the heavier kind, you know? It's different if you have an addiction to bread, or even going for a nice ride to the park. You know, cutting your moments off more, where you shouldn't be sitting at the park for 4 hours. You should be there for an hour and a half, and then kind of, get your stuff straightened up. So there's levels to everything. To every level, there's another devil. We talked about that before. So I just want to say that whatever you might feel or what you're going through, whatever you might have the understanding, like, Lex, what do you mean this covenant? Like, get it down, like the agreement. I made a lot of agreements I break. Yeah, but think about that. How do you feel? Treat yourself like you would a best friend. And if that best friend kept giving out on you and breaking every promise that they made you, you would be like, dude, like, something has to happen. Either I'm dropping you, or I got to figure out what's going on with me. Right? So at the same meaning or circumstance, do that as well. Hey, I'm my own best friend. I'm stuck with me. The best conversation you'll ever have, one of them, is with yourself. And I remember #Les Brown has said that. I do agree. So at the same time, think about that. If someone was lying to you, someone you loved or someone you care for, or someone was just sitting there treating you in the way that we break it so easily. Oh, it's okay. I'll make up for it. I'm not saying if you don't get a task done one day or get to call someone, no, but you still break a covenant. You make an agreement. Okay, today's the day I'm going to call the doctor and make an appointment to the dentist. Today's the day I'm going to go to the store and pick up these flowers for my friend because they really need them. I want to do it today. Why? Because you made that covenant. So why don't we tell ourselves that a lot more and keep those very words? Because I can only imagine if the Creator never kept its word, their word to us, we would be non-existent. There would be nothing else left. The world would be completely mayhem. We would have trees trying to blossom in winter, storms and lava coming out over here in a random part of fall. You never know. You just don't have any kind of knowing. When you don't keep an agreement and harmonize with the whole ecosystem of that agreement, there is no consensus that comes along to harmonize with the agreement. The covenant, #the covenant, is meaning more to us and we than we can even perceive. And that's something that we need to keep together no matter what we do and what we say. The covenant comes and it will always make us pay for the retribution of what we don't pay at the time. Don't mean to be harsh, but it's the truth for all of us. So wrapping this up, whether it be, we might just keep it here. It might be just this episode, but you kind of get the whole sting and the feel of it. If it comes down to the things that you're not willing to keep for yourself, then how can we expect anyone else to keep them for us? Now, it's not a high expectation of that. Like, oh, if I buy myself a $100,000 jacket or something, that person has to do it too. I'm not saying set bars for people to have to prove themselves in some insane way on that. What I'm saying is, right from right and wrong from wrong. Okay, there's a disclaimer page at realwchannel.blogspot.com. Right at the end of that blog, you can click for common sense and different things we expect out of what we say and do out here. All I'm saying is when it comes down to when and if you want to use the covenant, because we can pick and choose our battles, right? Remember, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Now, I say that do unto you as you would have others do unto you, because what we're willing to do for someone else, we break every covenant there is. I'm not going to go in my savings account and touch this money, but someone calls and needs it. Hey, here you go. I'll wire you $1,200. I'm not going to go over here and do these things. Somebody else call you. Yeah, I get encouragement or emergencies or things like that happening, but accountability is very important as well. Being accountable for the things that we say and do are measured. How about this covenant? Make a covenant with yourself to be able to pray, close your eyes, meditate, focus on all that is, and say, I give thanks to these wonderful things that have come. I give thanks to being able to wake up and even say, I have thanks. Not about how many dollars I can count or how many cents it makes in my mind or my pocket, but for the fact that I'm here and I'm standing strong. Thank you, Creator of all things, for all things you have given me in your creation. Not what the world shows me on Lamborghini boulevards and Dove commercials, but for the fact that you gave me the understanding of being here to give homage to you. You gave me my Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory ticket. People, you can beg to differ all you want about, my life is like that. Look, you got something to complain about. You should be blessed. Boom. That's all I'm going to say about it. We all have our bad days. Trust me. But I'm just saying, why don't we go from that? Make a covenant to say every day I'm going to give thanks. Make that covenant. Start getting a little list about that. And you start seeing how much BS we don't deal with from other people when we start keeping the word to ourselves. When we start keeping those monumental things that look like little grains of mustard seed, hashtag check out that episode, it comes up to a factor of dealing with the things that we must not deal with anymore. See, the thing is that we're always being moved in the system of great change and things happening. But when we keep ourselves stagnant, when we keep ourselves in the same area, when nothing is shifting because we won't allow it to because of fear or the covenants we keep breaking within ourselves and to others, then we can't move forward into the greatness that we have. Some people, that's a freaking Bugatti in a mansion. There's just some people, that's just a nice homestead or a little place or apartment to call home. That's just a nice little job to go back and forth to keep their minds busy. That might be a loaf of bread that's delivered every week. That might be something going on. And the more that we hold back these covenants and this greatness, we're holding back from what we're supposed to do to help not only change our lives and the circles connected with it, but the people that are connected to the circles. So every time we take a step back and every time we take a moment more, we find that. I have a lot of friends, I have a lot of different things like that. And I feel so extra passionate about it because I find a way to see what they want to sift through and they almost look for the reason. And when I find it, they tell me, Lexus is not the problem, but what if this happens? Or if I do this? And I'm almost to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to cut this person off. I try to go there because I don't want to cut everything off. Don't get me wrong. I want to be able to give to people too, but I'm like, man, if this person turns into negative Jim or negative Nancy, no shade to the names. I got friends of those names. I love you. But at the same time, when's enough? Like they're always finding some excuse. They make a covenant to go out and get their favorite beverage every day on point. They make a covenant to spend $25 a day at every store or restaurant every day. Not a skip and beat. But they can't make a covenant into their own investment of themselves. And most people think that when I'm speaking about something, it has to be some phenomenal business plan and all this other stuff. And really, it could just be someone saying, hey, I would love to just make the greatest slice of toast one day and just sit there and eat it. It doesn't have to be about revenue or escrow or all that. All I'm saying is when we hold ourselves back, like I've been saying for a very long time, when we keep those things are completely just outrageously behind us because we know already. And I'm very, very, very putting my hand up front because I know I've been self-sabotaging myself on different ways for a while. Now, some things are way completely out of my control. A lot of things for all of us. But a lot of things have been going to where I'm like, the doubt. And I have that holding back turn into doubt. Then it comes into hesitation. Then it comes into bombarding myself with too much. So therefore, it does a self-sabotaging system. At the same time, I've been able to look at those things, especially since my surgery in August. And I've been able to really assess what's going on. I know that I have a purpose and a calling. That's why most people will say, hey, Lex, well, I don't see that you're charging $75,000 to sit with me and talk for an hour or two. No, my time is valuable just like yours. But what you get out of it is completely changing your life for the greater and the better. It's helping me at the same time tone in and hone, excuse me, or hum too, to the things that are happening and changing and evolving. I want it to be accessible to everybody. That's why I haven't been the greatest marketer out here when you've seen these shows for almost 300 episodes. Because I'm like, look, you check it out. I see people checking it out. If you don't, you don't. But there's more people that need the purpose of the calling. And like I said before, hashtag the covenant, keep one to yourself. And I'm going to give you hashtag the covenant. Go over to spiritandmindelevation.com and check it out. You can sign up too at the Calendly link and sign up for your 15-minute free, like, I'm not going to say even session. It's just a free talk between you and I. If you want to go on forward from that, you can check out more stuff at realdoubledosechannel.com. Yes, come get some. And that's what it's going to be. We're going to have live casts. I'm having webinars, different stuff like that to keep you up on what's going on. And not to mention just a free goodie bag. And on top of that, for the elite circle, they're going to have nothing but free, awesome vacation packages that are going to be cool when we show up and we really get the nirvana out there. You're really going to be lit. If you thought people were having fun at the Tony Robbins little retreats they do, which I'm pretty sure is pretty lit too, it's definitely going to be something completely on a whole scale of elevation to a whole being level outside the human flesh itself. I'm telling you. So I just want to give that to you. No salt and sugar, just sweet. Okay. Never bitter. Just got a little smack to it. So this is we might have a part 2. I don't know, but this is hashtag the covenant. How far are you willing to keep yours to yourself and also give to the covenant that was given to you upon your breath, first and foremost, and then also understand that each moment you set yourself back up to keep breaking that agreement with yourself, you're not only hurting yourself, but those connected to you and those who are causing you harm and toxicity are going to continue doing that to more people because they know they haven't kept the covenant either. And they have no covenant or respect for themselves. So I want to give that to you. If you want any more enlightenment on that, check it out. We're going to have our library rolling out. Angela has that going. And I can't wait to see the material itself. And our courses are launching. And I can't wait to put the links out there for you guys to get it. Don't forget about us because we never forget about you. We're still going to keep this going. We'll let you know what's going on with the YouTube when that rolls out. Right now, we're not trying to be too overwhelming because we're trying to make everything more systematic and a better approach to be able to be there on different levels of Zen. So, with all due respect, remember to be the change, feel the passion, embrace the power of that beautiful, wonderful spirit. This is your host, Lex, realdoubledosechannel.com, realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. You can also check out the guest experts from the past and different ones coming up and more insights and so forth. Spiritandmindelevation.com. And don't worry, we have the toxicpie.com rolling out as well and avoidingtoxicrelationships.com. So yeah, we got it all rolling out. You don't know. And we have our apparel coming out as well. So you can see the new models and different ones with that if you want to support things going on like you have in the different things. So Cage Hearts, different ones. Just remember to keep on tuning in. Hashtag the covenant. We love you. You're amazing. And it will be back with you, like I say always, very, very, very soon.